couple of drivers using that soft compound tyre earlier. Charlie Verse, one of two Austrian drivers competing this weekend, going fastest overall. Santiago Ramos, one of the three Trident drivers, also put the soft compound tyre on as well. Leo Fornaroli on track went the fastest of those using the hard compound tyre.
It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out strategically for them.
Well, we just have the one compound tyre in Formula 3, but some drivers earlier were using, as Alex explained to us, carryover hard compound tyre from the last round. But we're all seeing them out on the Red Bull soft compound tyre this time, which is allocated for this round. And as you mentioned, the Trident drivers coming out onto the circuit. Pole here last year with Gregoire Saucy. We go on board with Luke Browning, sitting second in the championship, and we continue these build-up laps, Alex. We're not used to seeing this many, I guess, but this is because, as you mentioned, it is just such a short lap.
It really is over the road.
Yeah, look, it looks like a safety car restart, doesn't it, as we get ready to go. Mary Boyer and Cian Shields side by side with each other coming into ring curve, and now we get ready to go for the first push laps, and they'll go one by one, full gas coming down through turn 10 into the final corner and down the start finish straight, where you can see those new gravel traps added in as we follow Luke Browning up towards the first corner.
The curve, not a full Formula 3 car's width. We have seen laps deleted already through the middle of turn 7. Let's see what Browning can do as Ramos hits the front on a 22.5. That'll be beaten certainly throughout these early phases of qualifying. Second for Browning, it's Stenshorn on a 21.7. That's the early benchmark.
It's going to be now the Van Amersfoort racing driver Noel Leon, but this is going to change all the time. We pick up the ART Grand Prix driver Nicholas Solov, the Alpine Academy member, coming through the final corner. Has been in good form in recent rounds. Nicholas Solov, he comes up to the start-finish line and he goes to the top. Is Ollie Goethe, who heads up to the line now. The Red Bull Junior coming up to the line and goes to provisional pole. 121.013, but it was only ever so briefly because Gabriele Mini beats him straight away with a 121.013.
That'll be a lock-up, I would have thought, on the way in. Yes, it is. Inside front lock. Not got the temperature in the front tyre that he needs, and has to run wide around that outside curb, losing the lap for Wisniewski.
Let's follow Luke Browning as he comes out the final corner. Browning and Leon, you're ones to watch though. Here we go, Luke Browning up to the start-finish line. He goes to P7. Leo Fornaroli in the background. We jump on board with him now. He's currently P12. He will go to P3 behind him. No, Leon in that orange and black Van Amersfoort racing car goes to P1. Alpine Academy driver Nicholas Solov, the Bulgarian, out the final corner. He's currently P8, now P9, with times changing all the time, but he will jump back up to P3 with a 120.998.
Lap so far for Gabriele Mini. He hits the front, 0.005 the gap, with no improvement.
In second, let's watch Nikita Bedrin.
Off the road in the last two corners. I haven't seen that lap time deleted, so whether he's managed to keep the car just on the racing surface. Yes,
well,
he's bouncing off the road, actually. Such is the nature of the bump through the exit there. We have to his name in the last two rounds, so great stuff from him. The payback for that early build lap, that early build process, is the tyre stays with you a long way through qualifying here, so we're going to see several laps of improvement on this same soft compound tyre. Middle sector, the middle sector is where the time is to be made. Leon's making more of it with a purple middle sector. Let's see what he does across the line as he continues to try and improve. It is the top spot for Leon at this stage. All of the errors, though, we see are in that final sector grid. So easy to grade that tyre here can affect their ability to set lap on lap through the session. Thomas Smith, the Australian driver, making his way wide in the Van Amersfoort car. It's one of those where they probably keep on pushing, but it's a fuel issue. Incidentally, earlier on in free practice, we did see Leo Fornaroli run out of fuel at the end of the session here. Often one which catches the engineers out this, because so much of the racetrack is uphill. After, of course, Jochen Rindt really got to nail that first apex, and then attack the final apex through turn 10. Super accurate, nice stuff from Burt. Up to 14th, not quite the dizzy heights of what he managed to achieve in free practice. If nobody gets a decent lap in, and some early jumpers there, if nobody gets a decent lap in this final part of qualifying, that is no problem.
Towards turn 3.
So the trade-off here is you're giving up laps. The longer you wait in the pit lane, the more laps you're giving up. So you're trading laps on track for track position. The earlier you go out, the more temperature that you can build, the more laps that you can do. The later you go out, the more choice you have over where in the pack you run.
Middle of the pack.
And that's the voice of experience in terms of...
Starting the race.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole field waiting for 4 or 5 minutes in the pits there, and rain then coming. You can see a tiny little bit of it on the camera there on the way up to Rint curve. So how will this affect qualifying?
Most certainly. Let's hear from Noel Leon.
Oh, that will be nice.
Leon's team just wanted to finish, don't they? They just wanted to end Van Amersfoort of a racing driver's helmet. So it always looks like it's raining just that bit harder than it is.
Before we put, and look at this. Browning slows. No one wants to go round him.
Doesn't want to give the toe out.
Yeah, and
Browning.
So it's after you, no after you. And Luke Browning, who's going to go first, basically, is what we have now. Luke Browning doesn't want to. And no one else wants to either. So now the clock runs down.
Monza stuff going on in the middle, and Browning's now trying to leave them behind then.
6 at the Red Bull Ring. They make their way down the start-finish straight and up towards Nicky Lauda curve. This, the final flying laps. We follow Luke Browning, who currently sits second in the championship.
Inside curve, if you can make it, of turn 6. The circuit falls away. Watch the only track limits challenge remaining on the exit of 6. Purple in the middle sector for Browning, and that yellow bollard on the inside, and then it's straight to the line for Browning, who improves the time, the benchmark time overall.
Browning in the background, Martini Stenchorn going up to 7. Kian Shields gets himself into the top 10. We've had an ART car go second and one go third. Lawrence Van Hoopen in P2, Christian Mansell 3, but Luke Browning 3 tenths clear with Luke Browning out.
Early runners will get 1 lap, late runners will get 2. They're right on the limit here. The curve glances the inside apex and drives for the line.
Luke Browning looking for his first pole position in Formula 3. Will this be the time he does it? Well, he doesn't improve on that lap. Does that now open the door to Martini Stenchorn? Not quite. Well, Noel Leon, he's been so quick all weekend. He can't improve. We've got Santiago Ramos jumping into the top 12. We've got Dino Beganovic, P5. Arvid Lindblad goes onto the front row. Red Bull Junior. What about Gabriele Mini? He's got a great toe down the start-finish straight. Does this put him onto pole position? No, he stays in P4.
Yeah, Beganovic lost a lot of time weaving through the traffic in that middle sector. That'll be a prevention of improvement for him, I think. He's on pole position.
Let's find him up to the line. No, it looked like he maybe just lost time through the second half of the lap. Likewise for Ollie Goethe. It was so close at the end. The screens to see if he was able to do it, but it looks like it will be a first Formula 3 pole position for Luke Browning, second place in the championship.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe. That will really help me reach 1,500 subscribers. That's my goal. If you like kind of F3 related content, look at the videos suggested here, or go on my channel because there's loads of stuff to do with F3. Thanks for watching. Peace.